Okay, so as we wait for a few more people to start, we can begin the webinar. So today we'll talk about how cloud ERPs drive business growth. And I'd like to start off by introducing our panelists for today. So providing us with a welcome message is Zahir Sheikh. He's a partner in risk advisory, internal audit, and forensic services at BDO in East Africa, in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Ethiopia. He's a dynamic leader with a high public profile and has been a market leader in his chosen markets and services. He was a regional partner responsible for financial advisory services in KPMG in East Africa, working primarily in Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya. He has over 30 years of experience, 7 years in the UK, 24 years of professional experience gained at KPMG in Kenya. He established the first forensic practice in Kenya in the year 2000 and grew to a team of 25 full-time forensic specialists in the Eastern African region. As regional partner of the forensic unit, Zahir has been involved in managing large complex investigations, providing expert testimony in court, designing internal control systems, and much more. And now I'd like to introduce our expert panelist, Paul Masharia. Paul is a manager in technology advisory and business intelligence services of BDO East Africa's offices. He has over 11 years of experience and has been working in the IT consulting profession and is experienced at providing IT consultancy services. He has extensive experience in governance and maintenance of information systems, protection of information assets, and information system audits, forensic audits, internal audit, and risk management. He has exposure and wide experience in sectors of nonprofits, financial institutions, insurance, agriculture, hospitality, industry, and many more. He's a technology graduate from the University of Nairobi after pursuing a bachelor's degree in business information systems. He is also a CISA and CCP AWS Cloud. He's also pursuing a Master's of Science in Information Security and Digital Forensics from the University of East London. And prior to joining BDO in 2022, Paul worked with PKF and RSM for 9 years. He has worked with major firms in East Africa to enable value and decision-making from data to solve business challenges. Now I'd like to pass it over to Zahir Sheikh to provide us with the welcome message. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Meha, and a very, very warm welcome to all of you out there. I'm really excited to be here again with all of you, and I'm looking forward to a really exciting webinar. But as usual, let me say a little bit about the sponsor, which is BDO. So basically, BDO is a global accounting audit advisory firm and the 5th largest firm globally. Last year, BDO's revenues were 14 billion USD. They have offices in 166 countries, nearly 1,800 offices, and nearly 115,000 professionals. When you look at all of the areas shaded gray, dark gray in the map there, you can see that is the footprint of BDO. So pretty much BDO has a global footprint. And what that says for you is obviously because there's a global footprint, there are global methodologies, there are global standards, there are global risk management procedures, and also there's a global team. So whether you're looking for a service in East Africa, or whether you're looking for a service that's international, involving other countries, whether in Europe, Asia, or in Americas, BDO is there to partner with you. Next slide, please, Meha. Thank you. So basically, those of you who've attended before know that we provide all of our core services. We provide a whole range of audit and assurance services. We also provide a whole range of tax consultancy and tax compliance services, including the resolution of large tax disputes where you've got issues. Perhaps there's a claim from KRA, or any of the other bodies, any of the other revenue bodies in East Africa our experts can come in and help to resolve those. We also have a business services outsourcing division, which basically outsources anything that your business doesn't want to do. So whether it's payroll, whether it's looking after your bank accounts, whether it's doing your accounting, your management accounting, whether it's doing financial management of some of your services, and so on and so forth. And also we outsource professional services such as internal audit. And then where I sit, advisory services, we provide basically a whole range of services, transaction services, corporate finance, corporate turnaround, restructuring services. We do fraud investigations where there are issues of integrity in companies. We provide a whole range of services in data privacy, and also we provide a whole range of services in environment, social, and governance, or what is called sustainability services. But let me now just talk a little bit about why we're here today. So for those of you who've attended before, this is our fourth webinar in a series of webinars. And today's topic is a really exciting one. How do you get growth in your business from cloud ERPs? So as we all know, in today's fast-paced world, we all need to be agile in our businesses. We have to be efficient, and we always have to innovate just to stay ahead of the competition. And this is where cloud-based ERP systems come. I mean, at their very core, these systems, they put all of your key operations and processes onto one centralized platform, which you can access over the internet. But it's the cloud technology that really takes ERP to another level with some powerful capabilities. So first of all, there's the thing that you can scale, scalability. So with cloud ERP, you can quickly scale up or you can scale down based on your business needs. You can add more users, you can add or reduce storage, you can increase your computing power whenever required without big equipment investments. And then the next thing is accessibility. Cloud allows you and your employees and your vendors and your customers access to the same up-to-date information from anywhere. And this is really a killer in terms of collaboration and driving innovation across teams. And then there are, of course, the real-time metrics and reporting, on cloud ERP. So you have the operational visibility at a glance, and this allows you to make smarter, data-driven decisions, and you're able to optimize your performance. And then, of course, there's also the issue of cost efficiency. Your cloud model allows you a flexible subscription instead of just pricey upfront costs for hardware and maintenance. So whether you're taking the first step into ERP or whether you're upgrading your existing systems, cloud gives you that scalability. It allows you to collaborate. It gives you insights into your information, and it also provides cost savings to drive real growth. And now what I want to do is hand over to Paul, our expert, who's going to take you through the rest of the program. Paul, karibu.
Right. Thank you, Zahir, for the introduction. And I'll go straight into understanding what cloud ERP is, what they're all about. What is this jargon that is known as a cloud ERP? But first, we start off with what an ERP is. So an ERP is an enterprise resource planning system, and it's a type of software that organizations use to manage their business processes in an integrated manner. Enterprise resource planning systems are software solutions that basically have finance, HR, supply chain, customer relationship, and all this is encompassed into one platform. Then, now that we've tackled what an ERP is, there are two ways of deploying any software. It's either you deploy it on-prem or on the cloud, which is what we know as software as a service. So the on-prem is a deployment option that allows you to run those solutions within your own company servers. And on the other hand, a cloud ERP is a software that is hosted on a cloud computing platform rather than having it on-prem. And these solutions typically offer a subscription-based service or a subscription-based model, and the data is stored on some remote servers and only accessible through the internet. So this provides real-time access to data applications from anywhere and anytime, as well as from any compatible device. So because Zahir had mentioned how cloud ERPs offer increased flexibility, scalability, cost effectiveness, we will look at why we chose basically to discuss about cloud-based ERPs. By leveraging on cloud-based ERPs, organizations have access to advanced features and capabilities without the need for extensive infrastructure investments. So these systems offer a lot of scalability, flexibility, and giving the business the ability to adapt quickly to changing market conditions, changing environmental conditions. As you may not so long ago, there was COVID, and also to be able to scale up operations and open a new branch within a few days. So as we tackle why cloud ERPs are so important in the new age, we will go into how we can drive innovation, improve productivity, and also achieve sustainable growth in a very competitive landscape that we are living in right now. So key factors between cloud ERPs and on-prem ERPs. So the differences between the two environments is that ideally, the first key factor to consider is cost. So while an on-prem ERP, which is on-premise ERP, it has a very large upfront investment for hardware, software, licenses, implementation, whereas a cloud ERP is mostly a subscription-based service and therefore has lower upfront costs. With regards to maintenance, an on-prem ERP, your organization is responsible for the maintenance of the security, the backup of the system, and also just the maintenance of the actual servers. Within a cloud ERP environment, all these tasks are handled by whoever you have outsourced the service to. With regards to customization, on-prem ERPs offer more control and customizations, and there are some limitations with regards to some cloud ERPs with regards to customization because, again, it's more or less an outsourced service. With regards to scalability and deployment, cloud ERPs offer an increased flexibility, and these resources can be added or removed as and when required. You can improve the processing power, you can improve the RAM and also the storage based on need, and then you can scale down to reduce the costs. Whereas on an on-prem ERP, you buy everything upfront. So you buy the RAM, you buy the physical storage, you need to add processing power, you have to purchase all this and add it to your environment, right? So some of the examples of ERP systems that we have, and most of you know this, so I won't delve on this too much. We have SAP, the ERP itself, which is SAP's flagship ERP solution, which provides various functionalities: finance, procurement, sales, manufacturing, sales, supply chain, and just general management. We have Oracle NetSuite, which is designed for small and mid-sized businesses and also can be used for larger enterprises. We have the Microsoft Dynamics environment, the D365 environment, which has the ERP itself, the CRM, as well as other productivity tools, such as D365 Finance, D365 Supply Chain, which are then bundled on to the main layered platform. We have Workday, which is a financial management cloud-based ERP solution for financial planning, accounting, and reporting. So it provides a lot of the basic financial reporting and accounting reporting for accounts receivable, accounts payable, budgeting, analytics. And this also always helps organizations to fine-tune and optimize their processes. There are various other ERPs that I may not have enough time to mention. There are tons and tons of ERPs. So I'd request that if you on the chat, please just type the ERP that you're using or that you are familiar with. And if any of these ERPs that we've mentioned here, including Epicor, Kinetic, Info by CloudSuite by Infor. We also have Unit 4, which is an ERP for service-centric solutions. We have Rootstore. We also have Plex, which is very specific to manufacturing, and it's also a cloud-based environment. Syspro, I know everyone has heard of Syspro, as well as the IQMS, which is the Enterprise IQ. Right. So over and above those ERP systems, we have discussed that we're talking about cloud ERPs. So a cloud computing platform is a platform that then hosts and has this on-demand computing resources that then are broadcast through the internet. This could be servers, storage, databases, networks, software, analytics, intelligence, anything that you want that you could host within your environment. You can now host it on the cloud. Examples of cloud environments are AWS, there's the Google Workspace, there's ClearData, SlideRocket, Azure, Dropbox, SanDisk, just to name a few. There are various levels of cloud implementation, and this today we discuss only three. So we have the infrastructure as a service platform, which provides now the virtualized computing resources over the internet. This is just the servers, the storage, networking, etc. Examples are Azure, AWS Cloud, Meta Cloud, and even Google Compute Engine. We have others which are offered as a platform as a service. So this basically is a platform for developers to build, test, and deploy applications without having to manage the underlying infrastructure. Some examples are Apache Stratos, the App Engine, and also Beanstalk, Elastic Beanstalk. Finally, we have software as a service. So software as a service is applications that are provided over the internet, and they are given on a subscription basis or a subscription model. So users can access these applications from any device as long as it has an internet connection. We're all familiar with the Google-based apps, Cisco WebEx, Zoom that we're using here today, Salesforce, as well as Office 365. What are the key characteristics with regards to cloud ERPs? So we've looked at a lot of the ERPs that are available in the market, but there are some key characteristics that are familiar, they cut across all ERPs. The first one is accessibility and mobility. So all cloud ERPs offer anytime, anywhere access to any of the business data as long as you have internet, and it's accessible via web browsers, even on mobile apps in some cases. Scalability and elasticity. All cloud ERPs are designed to scale up dynamically and accommodate fluctuations in demand, user activity, and a lot of data volumes. Flexibility and customization. All cloud ERPs provide flexibility to tailor workflows, processes, and user interfaces to meet specific requirements across various industries, business functions, and organizational structures. Under security and compliance, cloud ERPs implement robust security measures, encryption protocols, and access to protect your sensitive data to ensure regulatory compliance. So most of these cloud services or cloud ERPs undergo regular security audits, automated updates, and also compliance certifications so as to maintain their data integrity and confidentiality. Last but not least is the cost effectiveness option of cloud ERPs. All cloud ERPs are offered on a pay-as-you-go model, pay-as-you-go pricing model, so allowing you and your organization to pay for the resources only when you use them and only for the services that you're utilizing. So from these key characteristics that differentiate cloud ERPs from the traditional on-prem ERPs contribute to the popularity and the adoption across industries. Cloud ERPs are used or basically deployed to improve agility, scalability, competitiveness in today's rapidly evolving business landscape. Let's look at some of the benefits of cloud ERPs. Cloud ERPs improve efficiency. Basically, they streamline the processes as well as offer you automated workflows in a real-time basis to ensure that errors are minimized and there's acceleration of processes. It offers cost savings because of the reduced infrastructure costs, eliminating any need for on-prem hardware and also the maintenance expenses, not forgetting having to hire people to manage this equipment. It also has a predictable subscription fee model. So subscription-based modeling allows you to have lower upfront investment, and then you can do better budget management as you go along, reducing the use of certain resources that you may want. There's the need of enhanced collaboration because of real-time data sharing. So centralized data repositories allow and enable seamless collaboration among teams within different locations. So you don't need to all be huddled up in the same office. Under data security, it offers robust security measures, which this is because of all the advanced security protocols, encryption, having automated and regular backups. And also you find that most of these cloud ERP or cloud service providers are always complying to the industry regulations and standards, therefore reducing any compliance risks that you may face. They offer integration and interoperability because they facilitate seamless integration with third-party systems because everything exists in a cloud. And therefore, it supports a lot of interoperability with other cloud-based solutions, which are different from having the legacy on-prem environment where you then have to point everything into your network. There's the offering of real-time analytics and insights. So cloud ERPs provide a lot of real-time visibility into business operations, including all the KPIs, and through a lot of advanced analytics, it gives you the ability to go through reports from anywhere you are within the world, as well as just doing approvals. If you are approving something in the system, you can just approve it on your app. You don't have to go to the office, and it also helps you eliminate a lot of paperwork. Cloud ERPs basically come with a lot of service level agreements and support. So most of the cloud ERP service providers offer a 24/7 customer support and technical assistance, training resources to help organizations minimize their value, maximize their value in cloud ERP investment, and also reduce any challenges that they may arise, especially outside business hours. Right. In today's fast-paced environment, businesses need agile and scalable solutions so as to remain competitive. Looking at the market trends, adoption of cloud-based ERPs is on the rise across various industries, and this is driven by the need for efficiency, agility, cost-effectiveness, and also scalability. Companies are increasingly recognizing the strategic value of migrating from their on-prem environment to a cloud-based environment so as to primarily drive business growth and a lot of innovation. Here are some real-world examples illustrating how businesses have successfully managed to drive growth simply by adopting cloud ERPs. And we'll also look at some of the companies that were not so successful, and we will take a note of where they went wrong. So on our first company is Tech Solutions, Inc. So Tech Solutions, Inc. is a leading technology consulting firm specializing in a lot of digital transformation solutions. So one of the challenges they had prior to implementing their cloud ERP system is that they relied on a lot of disparate software applications and had a lot of manual processes for managing finances, projects, client interactions, and all other operations. So this led to data being held in a lot of silos, having a lot of inefficiencies, and having limited visibility to a lot of the key business metrics. So the solution they opted for was a comprehensive cloud ERP solution to streamline the operations and improve decision-making. The choice of the cloud ERP that was integrated, that was chosen, integrated financial management, project accounting, resource planning, customer relationship, all into one single platform. So some of the results that they realized was they had a 30% reduction in project delivery times. So they improved the efficiency and reduced the time taken. They had a cost saving of a total of $150,000, which they were paying in annual IT infrastructure costs. They also realized a business growth of 20% within their first year simply by implementing the cloud ERP system. The second company we look at is a Global Retail Solutions, which is a multinational retail corporation with operations spanning across 18 countries and in 6 different regions. So one of the challenges they were having was to manage, trying to manage a complex supply chain, having a diverse product portfolio, and having the geographically dispersed retail outlets, which led to a lot of challenges with regards to any company that would be in retail. So the solution they opted for, they embarked on a digital transformation journey and adopted a cloud ERP solution purely tailored for the retail industry. So the results that they realized was they had increased collaboration because the cloud ERP system enables seamless collaboration between headquarters, the regional offices, and all the other retail outlets in a centralized manner. And this also resulted in leading to optimized stock levels and having a reduced out of stock instances of 25%. It also enhanced customer experience. This is because they had a 360 view of all customer interactions across the various branches and regions, and this resulted into a 15% increase in customer satisfaction scores. On the financial impacts perspective, just by leveraging a cloud ERP, real-time sales data and performance analytics helps global retail solutions to reduce excess inventory costs by 20%, leading to significant improvement in overall profitability. Third company is MeTech, which is Manufacturing Innovations Limited. And this is a medium-sized manufacturing company specializing in precision engineering and custom fabrication solutions for industrial clients. So their challenge was, before they adopted a cloud ERP, they faced several challenges, including inefficient production planning, inventory management issues, and also had a lot of manual order processing. Once they implemented the cloud ERP, they managed to also get system integrated product scheduling, inventory control, quality management, and having the procurement module to streamline operations. The results of this resulted into 40% reduction in lead times and 20% increase in production efficiency. It also resulted in cost savings of over $200,000 within the first year of post-implementation, purely by eliminating excess inventory. And on a quality perspective, they managed to reduce defect rates by 30% and therefore enhanced customer satisfaction and loyalty. The fourth case study is Healthcare Solutions, Inc. And this is the healthcare service provider specializing in medical billing, revenue cycle management, and practice management solutions for healthcare providers. So they had a challenge with managing complex healthcare billing processes, and the different healthcare providers had different processes and could not be able to basically align to how healthcare solutions wanted to deploy this, the management of healthcare. The solution which they opted for was a cloud-based ERP, which integrated billing, claims, patient management, reporting functionalities, and also gave them the ability to ensure compliance with HIPAA, which is the health regulations, amongst other industry standards. So some of the statistics of this were they realized efficiency gains of 25% increase in cash flows and a 30% reduction in administrative overheads. They managed to also get compliance assurance, basically because the solution they went for was HIPAA compliant, as well as ISO 27001 compliant, and they also improved client satisfaction. Case study number 5 is Hospitality Ventures Limited, which is a management company operating a chain of luxury hotels and resorts all over the world. So they had a challenge in managing multiple properties with diverse operations and had various revenue streams, which was a headache to manage. And they opted for a cloud ERP solution, which was specifically tailored to the hospitality industry. The results of this is that they realized a 15% increase in operational efficiency. They also experienced 20% increase in guest satisfaction scores, as well as 25% increase in overall revenue. Last but not least, I know there are so many companies, but last but not least is Education Solutions Inc., which is a leading provider of educational software solutions for K-12 schools and higher education institutions. So their challenge was having to support a diverse customer base with various and varying educational needs, curriculum requirements, technology integrations, and this posed a significant challenge to Education Solutions Inc. So when they implemented their ERP, they realized scalable, flexible platform that could adapt to evolving educational trends. They also had an increase in customer engagement of 20% and 40% in customer retention, increase in 40%, and they also had a 30% increase in overall revenue. So these are some of the case studies that demonstrate transformative impact of cloud ERPs and how they address the various complex challenges across various industries and sectors. Now let's look at some of those who are not so successful in their migration to cloud ERP, and we will highlight why their businesses did not realize any growth in the next coming slides. So company Retail Revolution, which is a medium-sized retail chain which is specializing in fashion apparel and accessories. They had a challenge where they had an outdated on-prem ERP, which lacked the scalability and integration capabilities. And they went into the market to implement a cloud-based ERP. And they selected a vendor from a reputable institution. However, during the implementation process, the company faced several issues. One such issue was insufficient training, where employees received very minimal training on the new system, leading to a lot of confusion and resistance to change. It also led to data migration challenges because the processes were poorly executed, resulting into inaccuracies and missing data in the new system. They also experienced integration issues. This is because the cloud ERP system failed to integrate seamlessly with existing third-party applications, leading to having a lot of data silos and inefficiencies. So despite initial optimism, the cloud ERP implementation at Revolution Inc. was not successful. This resulted into decreased productivity because employees struggled to adapt to the new system. It resulted in operational disruptions because of the integration issues that they faced. And most importantly, they faced financial losses because they incurred additional costs to address those implementation challenges to mitigate all the new disruptions that came up in the business. Another case study is Manufacturing Dynamics Limited, which is a company that specializes in industrial machinery and equipment. So one of the challenges or the main challenge that they had was in the operations. So within operations, they tried to implement a cloud-based ERP so as to improve production efficiency. And this company basically chose a cloud vendor with industry-specific expertise and comprehensive functionalities. However, they encountered certain setbacks. The first setback was scope creep. So basically, the project scope expanded beyond the initial estimates, and that led to a lot of delays and also budget overruns. There was a lot of resistance to change. So employees were resistant to adopting new system, citing concerns about job security and familiarity with cloud-based technology and other issues. And they also faced performance issues because during the operations or the time they're doing the manufacturing, there was a lot of disruptions within the peak periods and the peak production periods that resulted in a lot of wastage. So one of the key issues or the outcomes that despite having the initial investment and high expectations, they failed to meet the business objectives. They also failed or suffered a lot of employee frustration, and they had a loss of confidence amongst their customers. Company number 3 in our case study of unsuccessful implementations is Service Solutions Co. which is a mid-sized company providing maintenance and repair services for industrial machinery. So they had a challenge with having a legacy system, which hindered collaboration between the field technicians and the back office operations. So the company decided to implement a cloud-based ERP so as to streamline service delivery and also try and improve customer satisfaction. So they encountered several obstacles. So one was the customization complexity. So the first thing they noted was that the cloud ERP system that they had chosen required excessive customization so as to meet the company's unique service processes and workflows. They also had a lot of user adoption issues because field technicians found this new system to be a bit complex and cumbersome to use, then resulting into low adoption rates and a lot of resistance to change by the field ops side, and integration challenges. Basically, with all the legacy system and all the data, they had a lot of challenges which they were not able to overcome. The last company or case study that we will be running is the financial firm called XYZ Finance. This is a boutique investment advisory firm offering a wealth of management services to meet the high net worth clients. And they sought to modernize the back office operations so as to improve data management by transitioning from their existing manual processes into a cloud-based ERP solution. So they selected an ERP vendor with expertise in financial services. However, these were some of the roadblocks that they encountered. They had data migration issues in the sense that data migration processes from the legacy systems and also the manual processes were plagued by data integrity issues and inconsistencies, and this resulted into inaccurate financial reporting. They had also compliance concerns because the cloud ERP system lacked robust compliance features and failed to meet regulatory requirements. The cloud ERP system also struggled to handle the large volumes of financial data and the complex reporting requirements, leading to a lot of slowdown or downtime and processing delays. So these are some of the case studies that underscore the importance of thorough evaluation, planning, and execution with regards to cloud ERP implementations. So let's look at some of the common lessons or the key takeaways that you need to do when migrating or selecting a cloud-based ERP. You need to perform and conduct a thorough needs assessment so as to ensure that your unique requirements are met. And a good example is an inadequate customization and a poor fit with existing workflows led to implementation delays and a lot of user dissatisfaction in some of the case studies. You need to perform and ensure stakeholder engagement so as to include end users, department heads, IT personnel, and everyone throughout the implementation process to ensure that everyone has alignment and everyone has a buy-in to the project. You need to implement an effective change management system so as to address any resistance to change and promote user acceptance of the new system. With regards to data migration and planning, you need to have comprehensive data migration, a migration plan to ensure accuracy, completeness, and integrity of data prior to transfer from one system to another and to the cloud. You need to take into account the integration considerations. So you need to evaluate the integration capabilities of the new cloud ERP and its compatibility with existing systems to ensure seamless data exchange and interoperability. Usability and training should be prioritized. So you should ensure and you prioritize user-friendly design and provide adequate training to support and facilitate user adoption. With regards to compliance and regulatory requirements, you need to evaluate whether the cloud ERP system meets the industry-specific compliance requirements within your industry and your sector, so as to avoid any violations and penalties. Conduct scalability and performance testing so as to ensure that the systems you're trying to implement are able to handle the increasing data volumes and also the complex processing requirements. Always ensure to have continuous improvement and evaluation. Do not just implement an ERP and stop there. Refine the processes to ensure that you can be able to have a post-implementation evaluation which identifies the areas for optimization as well as enhancement. So the key questions you need to ask yourself before implementing a cloud ERP is, what are our business goals and objectives? What are our current pain points within the existing systems? And basically how you can handle, how a cloud ERP can handle your challenges to improve your business processes. You need to ask yourself, what is your budget and resource availability for implementation? This includes the upfront costs, the ongoing subscription fees, as well as the implementation expenses that come with any ERP system, purely for customization purposes. You need to also ask yourself, what are your scalability and flexibility requirements? So do you need an ERP solution that can handle future growth and also that can also change with the changing business needs, as well as the industry trends? Fifth question you need to ask yourself is, what level of customization and integration you need. This is because you need to integrate to existing software applications, databases, and any other third-party systems that you have implemented. Number 6 is very paramount, and these are what security and compliance regulations are important to us. So various jurisdictions, various industries have compliance regulations that they need to abide to. Like for the health case, it was HIPAA. So the successful implementation of a cloud ERP that was aligned to HIPAA allowed them to basically have the comfort that their ERP system had met all their regulatory requirements. You need to ask yourself what the user experience and the usability of the ERP system and what are some of the challenges you expect. So when you're selecting an ERP system, always ensure that it is user-friendly and conduct usability testing and have a lot of demos to all the users to just gauge their satisfaction and gauge the acceptance ratio of the new system. You need to ask yourself also, what are the success stories and references from other customers? So we had seen cases where some organizations went for any ERP that they thought of instead of benchmarking and leveraging on industry-specific ERPs. And therefore, they resulted into having products or having too much time taken to standardize their workflows. By carefully evaluating these questions and considering your specific business needs, companies can then make informed decisions about whether a cloud ERP solution is the right fit for your organization, or you can just go with an on-prem solution. There are 5 best practices for cloud adoption. So you need to implement or develop a clear implementation strategy, invest in adequate training and support, monitor performance and adjust where required, ensure stakeholder buy-in, and also regularly review and optimize your processes. So with regards to implementation, definitely there comes a lot of challenges and considerations with regards to your cloud ERP implementation, so as to have the angle of driving business growth. And these are some of the key challenges that you might expect to face or you are currently facing. So one of them is data security and privacy, where you have concerns about data security and privacy due to storing business information or sensitive information on third-party servers. There's also the headache of integration complexity, especially with regards to legacy applications and third-party software, as well as maybe having a hybrid system where you want an on-prem and a cloud-based environment. There's a challenge with regards to customization and flexibility in the need for balancing customization benefits and standardization of scalability, and this can be very challenging. Vendor lock-in is one of the major challenges. So when you're implementing a cloud ERP, you're locked to a specific vendor who can only provide that ERP. So if you're planning on changing or you're planning on moving into a different technology roadmap, you're locked into that vendor, and therefore there's no way you can exit from that particular debacle. Performance and reliability challenges. This is especially during peak usage periods. So if you have very high usage in the morning hours and minimal usage in the afternoon hours, you then don't implement static cloud. You need to implement dynamic cloud, where you have resources pulling in when the peak hours and the systems are so busy, and then reduce the computing power and the RAM requirements when there's a go slow. And also this applies to businesses which operate in an 8 to 5 model, whereas a business which is on a 24/7 model will definitely have to learn from the implementation. Another challenge is cost management. So the total cost of ownership of an ERP system, including subscription fees, the implementation costs, the training, and also the ongoing maintenance, is also sometimes going to be very high in the long run. So if you don't manage your costs now, they will then affect your return on investment to justify the investment of the cloud ERP itself. So some of the key considerations, you need to ask yourself questions around scalability and growth. And this is assessing the scalability and flexibility capabilities of any particular ERP. You need to also look at user adoption, addressing some of the adoption challenges. If you have an older generation or a younger generation who are technology savvy or tech savvy, basically, they would be easy to pick up a new ERP system compared to people who are a bit older. Compliance and regulatory requirements, you need to ensure that whatever ERP that you are implementing is aligned to any of the compliance and regulation requirements within the business, the industry, the sector that you are operating in. With regards to vendor selection and due diligence of vendors, you need to choose vendors with a good track record, having financial stability, and also customer references, which you can actually call and verify that they implemented successfully. Last but not least is on data migration and transition planning. You need to plan and execute the smooth data migration by cleaning up all the existing data and ensuring completeness of data before you migrate to the cloud ERP. So let's look at some of the tips that you can implement so as to ensure you overcome some of these challenges. So first tip on data privacy, you need to select an ERP system that has encryption, access controls, and they perform regular security audits to protect your sensitive data, therefore reducing your headache to worry about where your data is sitting. With regards to integration complexity, conduct a thorough assessment on the integration requirements and capabilities before then you select the solution. And then prioritize interoperability and compatibility when evaluating cloud ERP vendors as well as the systems. For customization and flexibility, quick tip is to ensure that you balance the need for customization with the benefits and standardization of scalability. You need to prioritize the essential customizations that align with your core business processes and objectives, and not just run for any shiny looking coin just because it's a new feature you want to implement. First, implement what core business processes you have, and the other ones come as benefits. For vendor lock-in, you ensure you negotiate flexible contracts with any cloud ERP vendor, and also explore a hybrid or multi-cloud deployment option where you have various applications running on various cloud environments. As long as they're integrated, you're okay. And the interoperability of APIs to facilitate data portability and integration with other performance systems. On a cost perspective, you need to assess the total cost of ownership as well as the return on investment. So before, for example, SAP, you have the option of deploying it either on-prem or on cloud with their own benefits and challenges accordingly. So if the total cost of ownership of an on-prem environment over a period of 5 years is higher than a total cost of ownership of a cloud-based environment over the same period, then you have realized your return on investment because after 5 years, you'll need to overhaul all your existing servers, 5 to 10 years, 5 to 7 in some regulations or some industries. You'll need a full overhaul of the current environment. So why not just go for the cloud ERP system? Because then it reduces that headache. A tip for user adoption and training, you need to provide ongoing support and resources to all your users, and giving them a platform to ask questions and provide feedback and any challenges that they are facing with regards to the ERP. For vendor selection and due diligence, negotiate contracts and have SLAs that align with your organization's needs and expectations. So by implementing any of these tips, you will be able to maximize the benefits of digital transformation as well as drive growth within your organization. So let me do a quick recap of today's session. So we did look at the various types of cloud ERPs and how they enable organizations to streamline their operations, improve collaboration, and giving the real-time access visibility of business processes. We also looked at the benefits of cloud ERPs. So against having an on-prem ERP, and the benefits of cloud ERPs are the ones that drive business growth. We then moved to some case studies where we looked at several cases where there was successful implementation and also unsuccessful implementation. We gave examples of 6 different industry sectors in healthcare, in manufacturing, hospitality, and education, as well as retail and technology consulting, and how these organizations achieved significant improvements in their operational efficiency, cost savings, customer satisfaction, as well as business growth. We also looked at some of the companies who suffered because of some of the challenges that people, or the questions that you need to ask yourself before choosing a cloud ERP that were never addressed at the time of implementation, leading to project overruns and a lot of dissatisfaction amongst the employees. We looked at some of the challenges and considerations with regards to cloud ERPs. Despite the benefits, adoption presents challenges such as data security, integration complexity, customization limitations, and also the main headache, which is usually vendor lock-in. But we have provided tips for overcoming all these challenges. And the main tip is you need to invest in a lot of user training, change management, always assess your compliance requirements, and have continuous performance monitoring so as to ensure successful ERP implementation, which will then drive business growth. Overall, cloud ERPs offer significant opportunities for organizations to drive business growth, improve efficiency, and also adapt to the changing market dynamics. By addressing some of the key challenges and considerations, as well as following the best practices, organizations can successfully leverage on cloud ERPs to achieve their strategic objectives, as well as to remain competitive in the digital age. Right. Now, I will hand over to Meha to take us through some of the questions in the chat, and we will be answering some of the questions live.
Thank you, Paul, for a very insightful webinar. We have a few questions and we have time to discuss them. So the first question is, I'm curious, the scandal of SAP with users in East Africa, I think it is important also to evaluate the vendor and not only the product.
Yes, absolutely. I believe that's a comment. It's part of what we did under vendor lock-in. So if you're locked to a specific vendor, then you definitely experience various challenges. And some of the tips that we've provided is you ensure you have a lot of flexible SLA and exit terms. Know who owns the data, know who owns the platform. So that even if you need to change a vendor, maybe you can get a vendor from a different country, different jurisdiction, or someone who understands the platform much better, then you don't have the headache of migrating your data to the other new platform. And you can then move across various vendors, right?
Thank you, Paul. The next question is, how long should an entity take to change its current server environment?
Right, so best practice basically requires that every system that achieves its end of life has to be overhauled. And this is part of the 7 principles of system development lifecycle. So it's not, there are certain banks that have systems that they implemented way back 20 years ago, and they're still running efficiently. They might be suffering from some of the new developments, such as mobile banking, such as internet banking, and they have challenges with innovation, but they are still operating and they do not have security issues because whatever choice of ERP system they had is so tailored to the organization that they would rather keep that rather than migrate to a more robust, more modern system that now hackers can be able to get. So to just address the question in singularity, there is no specific fit other than following the end of life of a particular system. If the support runs out, if it is no longer supported by the operating system on which it is layered on, whether it's Windows based or it is Linux based, if it's no longer supported by the platform, it needs to go. And also the risk appetite of an organization. So to remain competitive, you need to be agile. If your competitors are moving into different products and solutions, and you're limited by your system or the capabilities of your system, then you can even change a system within 3 years. We have a case study, which I won't say the detail of the company, where they implemented a brand new ERP, which cost 20 million shillings, and they overhauled it 6 months later because there were certain capabilities that some of their competitors could be able to get to achieve higher business growth and market share. And they ended up spending an additional 27 million shillings, bringing their total cost of investment to 47 within a 6-month period. Whereas if they had just gone and done their vendor due diligence properly and even aligning their processes and everything else, they would have just spent 27 million shillings. So I wouldn't say the company, but it's all over the news. You'll be able to get that information.
Thank you. We have one more question, which is, as per law, data should not be stored out of the country. Then how should it be on the cloud platform? Where will the data be saved on the cloud? Which country?
Right. So a similar case, which is affecting, especially because of the implementation of the Kenya Data Protection Act. So there are two instances where you are safeguarded. If the environment that you're hosting your data has either a data transfer treaty with Kenya, or you protect yourself with data transfer agreements, especially for cross-border transfers, then you can have your data sitting and your application sitting in a cloud environment, which is not necessarily locked to your geographic location. Other than some, especially for the financial institutions who require all financial data to sit within the premises of their country or the boundaries of their country, all other organizations are allowed to have data transfer agreements, as well as protect themselves, whether they're a controller, processor, controller. And we will delve into this in our next series, which is a data privacy webinar series. So stick with us and we will be able to answer that question for you. There's this question on most ERP implementations have issues regarding taxation modules and compliance relevant to East African countries. This is a very good question from Karamaga. And this is because during vendor due diligence or when selecting the cloud ERP, it was not tailored or does not have the capabilities of being tailored to our environment. And therefore, they require a lot of customization. Whereas there are certain ERPs which already have the APIs, which are directly linked to the eTeams accounts, and you can be able to process all your tax activities directly from your ERP without having to do an API into a third-party platform. So the choice of system or ERP is driven also by the regulations and the legislations within that particular country. So one of the headaches that you may be facing, or most companies would be facing, is going for a big brand or a big name because they know that it works, or just trying to implement a cloud ERP based on the fact of reputation of that company, but not assessing the other competitors within your region and the solutions that they've implemented so as to align with any of the local requirements.
Thank you, Paul, for your expertise. I think that's all the questions we have for today. We can go on to speak about the next webinar that we have next week in the same series. I've sent the registration link on the chat, so please do register in advance because we have limited seats available. So today, as you know, we talked about how does cloud ERP drive business growth, and next week, Wednesday, same time, we'll be talking about an executive overview on improving cybersecurity cost effectively. It's a very important webinar and it's the last one of this entire series. So please do register and please do show up. And we're also excited to announce about the next webinar series that we're going to start on data protection. It's a 5-part series launch. We're going to start by talking about the compliance, the journey so far, which is going to be on Wednesday, 29th May, followed by the role of data protection officers, DPOs in East Africa. And then we'll go on to talk about data protection for small and medium enterprises, SMEs, and then emerging technologies and data protection. And then lastly, we're going to end with cross-border data transfers, challenges and solutions. So the registration links will be shared on our LinkedIn page. So please do follow it, BDO East Africa. And some of you will also receive email invites. And now I'll pass it over to Paul to talk about cybersecurity at BDO.
Right. Before we close today's webinar, so BDO provides a host of cybersecurity consultancy as well as advisory services. We take pride in offering comprehensive suite of cybersecurity services, which are tailored to meet the diverse needs of our clients. From the robust side of threat detection, incident response, system implementation, vendor analysis, etc., we provide all these solutions. So explore any of our offerings to elevate your capabilities so as to stay ahead in today's dynamic threat landscape. And with that, I thank you all for your active participation in today's webinar. We do hope that you found this session to be insightful and you gained valuable knowledge. Your engagement and thoughtful questions have made this a truly enriching experience. And as we conclude, remember that our commitment to knowledge sharing doesn't end here. Stay connected for future webinars, resources, as well as collaborative opportunities on our social media pages, on our LinkedIn, and also from your connections within the BDO network. We wish you continued success in your endeavors. Thank you and have a lovely day.